I'm Kat Kevin, and we're here at IMEX Frankfurt. I'm joined by the wonderful Jane Haig from Convene, and we're going to just have a little bit of a chat about everything that you guys have been up to. So, Jane, would you like to just give a very quick introduction about yourself and Convene?
Well, firstly, thanks ever so much for having me. It's great to be able to take this moment and have a chat. M.I.C.E Media. My name's Jane. I'm the UK Sales Director for Convene, and we are a global hospitality company. And we're managing a growing portfolio of lifestyle brands that revolutionise the way people meet, work and gather. And in my role as UK Sales Director, I'm responsible for a portfolio of 12 meeting venues across London and Manchester.
Amazing.
Yes.
So busy. And
Yes,
I,
very much so.
IMEX, has that been busy as well?
IMEX has been an incredible show so far. It's been a record show for Convene, which is an amazing thing to say. In terms of the pre-scheduled appointments, we've had the most ever coming into the show. And then when you combine that with people just having that sort of serendipity at the show and just walking onto the stand, seeing our brand and wanting to have more information, I think we had over 45 appointments yesterday, all in all, which I think is incredible. Another 30 today, and probably will end the day with much more. So I have to say, hats off to IMEX. They've delivered an incredible show, and having our own branded stand has just enabled us to kind of have more conversations than those that we've pre-scheduled as well. So we're super happy, and we're look forward to some good return on investment when we get back to our day jobs.
Great. That's always fantastic to hear. And I was very fortunate yesterday. I popped by and I can confirm the stand really did look amazing. Kind of reflective of your spaces and your venues, really.
Absolutely, yes.
I guess it would be interesting to hear, what are the kind of clients that you really work with? What kind of events are you hosting?
Yeah, so we're so privileged to work with some of the biggest companies in the world. We work with companies that buy across our portfolio. So we have just short of 40 venues across North America and the UK. So we work with sort of those global corporations that really buy across our portfolio. In the UK, our strongest market sectors, I would say, would be finance, professional services, insurance, and technology, of course. So they're the leading sectors, but we do work with a broad spectrum of clients across all sectors as well. However, they're the kind of the strongest ones in our portfolio at the moment.
I guess it makes a lot of sense. If you're an international event organizer, it's going to make it a lot easier from a procurement point of view, from a systems, and just kind of all flows a little bit more easily that way.
And I feel like Convene's in a very unique space. Every single Convene venue that we have in our portfolio has a unique design that's really empathetic to the area in which it's located. So we take design cues from, for example, our newest location at 200 Aldersgate in the City of London takes design cues from Smithfield Market, from the Barbican, from Hatton Garden, so that when you come into a Convene venue, you're going to get a different experience, but something that really resonates with the area that you're in. However, what works really well for us is that you get that global consistency of service. All of our food is in-house. We control that experience. We've actually just brought all of our technology in-house as well. We've hired 22 tech managers in the UK alone, onboarded them so that we can really provide a very unique kind of consistent service. So the idea with Convene is you can get that sort of design-led unique experience in how the venue looks and feels, but you've got that sort of peace of mind and consistency of level of service that you expect from a global company. So I think our puts us in quite a unique space, and it makes it a joy to promote and sell the brands that you can have next. Yeah.
And so you touched a little bit on a couple of things, but firstly, the design of the space. How important is that, and what are some of the key things that you guys take into consideration?
Absolutely of the topmost importance. We are a design-led business. So we work with architects, we have in-house designers, we've got product team. And so when we're looking at the venues that we're sort of adding to our portfolio, or if we're looking at refurbishing our venues, we have a team of people that will put that design brief together And that starts the conversation. So that starts, okay, how do we want people to feel when they come into these spaces? What can we take from our local area that really brings in those lovely stories that you can tell to clients when you're showing them through the space? Say, okay, you're in this part of town, this is how our venue speaks to that. And so design-led experiences are absolutely a priority in our business. And I do feel genuinely that sets us apart in the market. But I also think, everything that we're reading in the industry at the moment is talking about people wanting unique venues, something a bit different. Gone are the days, thankfully, of those black box environments where the speaker on the stage talking at the delegate audience for a couple of hours and then they go. And I think now it's about, okay, how can spaces really help to influence the way people collaborate? And that's massively changed as well. Less about like those keynotes and more about those collaboration spaces, those breakouts, those moments where you can just connect in a space that kind of supports that. So it all comes together at Convene, and that's what makes it a really exciting brand.
Yeah, and I love how your venues have nice natural light.
Exactly.
And it's a lot about the acoustics as well, because if you can't hear the person opposite you and you can't have those meaningful, interesting conversations, then that really does defeat the whole purpose of coming together.
Yeah.
So, and something you touched on briefly was around the F&B. I have been very fortunate to sample some of your delicious food. And I noticed you've got loads of vegan and loads of options.
Noticing that, absolutely. So all of our catering services done in-house. We have a culinary team globally. So we're led by executive chefs, much like you would get in a hotel environment. However, what it does enable us to do is to really curate the food experience. And I think we can all say that food is one of the most memorable things of any event. And, if it's great, it just adds to the experience. If it's bad, it can create a whole issue for clients. So we really do value and put a lot of priority around the menus that we curate and not just servicing the different needs of our audiences. Even in the design of our menus, that it's everything that we serve linked to the performance of that person for the rest of the day. Gone are the heavy carbs and of income, good proteins, fresh ingredients, colourful menus. We know that people buy with their eyes, but ultimately what we want is people to have a great food experience, but then be able to perform really well for the second half of their day. So all of that is intentionally designed and curated.
And the flow as well, it is important. The queues, even though as a nation we say we love to queue, we really don't. We actually hate to queue. And what I love was that when the service did come out at the event that I did with you guys, is that it all flowed and there were no queues. There were 2 different serving areas and the drink selection as well. I was very impressed. I thought that you worked with quite a lot of independent, like small businesses as well for your drink selection. So
absolutely. In fact, Norwich is a big part of our brand experience. So we want to make sure that people want snacks all throughout the day, right? They don't want to be told this is when you've got to eat. So yes, you'll have your lunch breaks and you'll have your designated coffee breaks. However, we provide a station of snacks that are really carefully curated as well to make sure that they're performance-based and they're healthy and, so it's unique, independent brands, coffee on tap, water on tap. So people can just help themselves.
Yeah.
And it feels more natural then, and I think people feel that the experience is more tailored to them as a person, as opposed to a little bit more of a typical experience where you've got very much your set breaks.
So I guess with all the exciting things coming along, what's ahead? What's next? What's the next big thing that you're excited about?
We continue to grow. As I said, we've literally just bought all of our technology in-house. So that's a big part of the next chapter for Convene. So we can create that consistency of service. We're seeing more of a demand for experiential events. And I think that's leaning into this trend of highly personalized event experiences. People are asking us to support them with more branded experiences, more high-tech experiences. And also, the more we see those experiential events coming through our venues, the more that sort of plays into our future venue acquisition. So what does that look like in the future for Convene? How can we continue to deliver spaces that provide highly curated event experiences for our clients? So I'm excited for the future. I think we're a brand that everyone should keep an eye on. We're growing exponentially. We're doing really well. We're standing out from the market, and we've got a bright future ahead of us. So yes, it's an exciting time to be at Convene for sure.
Amazing. Well, Jane, thank you so much for taking the time to have a little chat today, and best of luck for the rest of the show.
Thank you for having me, Kat. Appreciate it.